Hello, welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover actor grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that this guy seems to step on. Today, we're going to be talking about, can you make a living from voiceover? All right, we're going to talk about this. Great topic, important topic. But before we get into that, just a quick note. We are coming up on Valentine's Day and Valentine's Day week, which is next week. We're going to be running an incredible special to try us out at A VO's Journey Elite Academy. So make sure you check that out at avosjourney.com. There'll be links, of course, in the videos. It's going to be really exciting and a great opportunity to try us out for a reduced price. Okay, so check that out. That starts next Monday. All right, so let's dive into this topic. Can you make a living doing voiceover? So first off, I think it's important to note that this is a business. All right, this is a business. So any business that you're going to start takes a while in order for it to grow. There are, I remember when I was younger, and growing up, that my grandfather was in business, and, he used to say, and I heard this a lot, not just from him, but other people, right? That, typically it takes a business 3 to 5 years to start to show a profit. Okay, right? Because those 3 to 5 years, a lot of times you have to take out money, you have to reinvest your money, right? You're growing a business from nothing and creating something like a machine that keeps going, and it needs capital, it needs money, it needs time, it needs investment, and it takes a little bit for it to get going. It takes a couple of years. All right. That doesn't mean money's not coming in, but it means that, you're reinvesting it, you're doing stuff. So that I remember that very clearly. And so, that was the idea that it takes 3 to 5 years to start making profit in a business. Now, that was never stated how big the business is or what that was a while ago. And I think that still holds true for a lot of businesses. Okay. But I think in voiceover, it is a little bit different, but I wanted to start off by saying that because I think it's important to note that, I work with a lot of voice actors, and many of them understand that it's going to take some time, but there are some who think, they're like, I've got a month, I've got 2 months, I got to make money. You know what I mean? And voiceover is not a make a lot of money quick business. It's a business, right? I mean, you're not just going to make a lot of money without investing any or time, right? It's going to take time, and it will take you years to start to make a lot of money in voiceover. I mean, it's going to take you years to make a lot of money in anything, right? I mean, you just don't start. So I want to be open and honest with you about that. Can you make a living in voiceover? Absolutely, you can make a living in voiceover. Of course you can. We have many people who are making a living in voiceover in the academy. I make a living from voiceover. There are so many voice actors who do. All right. Now, there's varying levels, and depending on how much money you need to make, okay, determines how, well of a living you're going to have with voiceover. It's difficult to average out what the typical voice actor makes. There's been some studies, but the studies, one main one came out that said, and on average, voice actors, I think the average was around $18,000 to $20,000 a year. The top 1%, right, make around $90,000 a year. But I just want to point, there's a problem with those numbers. The problem is that I don't know how they got those numbers. Meaning, who did they go to SAG-AFTRA? Did they go to the union? Did they how did they, you know what I mean? How did they find those numbers? No one, I mean, I'm not saying they need to come to me, but they didn't poll me, and I don't think they're polling freelancers. I didn't find, you know what I mean? So in home studios, we have a lot of change today in the industry, from how much people are making, how much you can make, where you're making your voiceover money, from what type of jobs you're making your voiceover money, right? There's so much different, there's so much change and difference, right? Than than other parts of the business, because you have the union and you have a specific type of voice actors, and you have the rest of us, right? Non-union. And I don't know if that was union or non-union, that study. And I don't think there's really been any other study, because it's very difficult, right? I mean, the only way you could do it is by just I think trying to do your best to do a survey, and survey as many voice actors, but you're never going to get. And anyways, the point is, because there's not like national numbers that are posted other than maybe the union. So it's very difficult. And most of the work now, the majority by far, is non-union work. I mean, it's that's not contested. That's true. So anyways, the point is that yes, I do believe that you can make a living doing voiceover, but I want to stress again that in order to get to making a living in voiceover, it's going to take you a few years. Okay? It took me three and a half years to do it. And honestly speaking, I have a degree in acting. I've been an actor, a director, a coach, a teacher. I've been in theater my whole life. So in fairness, I've also had years and years and years of training and theatrical work. So the acting part, the performance part, was something that I was able to pick up very quickly and understand. Right? The ideas of a variety of different genres in voiceover. This takes time. You can do it. Anyone can do it, but depending on what your background in it and so forth, it may take you more time. And I don't say that to tell people don't do this, but I'm just saying it to be truthful and open and honest. I again, because I see some people who want to go so fast, and they think if it doesn't work in a month or 2 months or 3 months and they're not making money or something, that there's a problem, and they're investing it. So yes, you have to invest. You've got to invest in coaching. You have to invest in your equipment. You've got to invest in your space. You have to invest money. Now, the levels vary of how much money you want to invest and you can invest. And you can start very small. I started very small. But again, you have to understand, you know what I mean? I also started very small, like with a $40 microphone and some. But I also started with 20 plus years of acting experience, right? So I wasn't starting without that. I mean, I'd be open. Now, I think if you listen back to any of my stuff from the beginning, you'd be like, holy crap, he wasn't an actor, because, it's a different style of performance. But I think that, I was able to pick up on it a lot more quickly and understand different genres, right? Because I've done a lot of different acting. And throughout my whole life, right? I studied theater and acting. So that's not to say that you have to do that, but I'm just saying that the time it takes can be a little bit longer, and to give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. I would caution to get into any business, let alone voiceover, thinking that it's going to be a fast thing. It's not a job. Meaning, like, when you go to a job, you work. After a couple weeks, a month, you're going to get a paycheck. And it's going to be steady, right? Because you're working a job. You're working with someone else who's already been through that. They've already built that whole system that took years and years and years to build. Okay? But we're not doing that. We're not building a job. We're not trying to, at least. Right? We're trying to build a business. So with a business, you have to take a step back and look at what you're actually building. You're building an asset. So when it comes to all of this, yes, you can make a living doing this. Of course you can. I'm sitting here doing it myself. Many people are. But I just want you to understand that it's going to take time, and that's not wrong. That's not you doing it wrong. I mean, that's right. That's not you messing up. That's the reality of business in general. It takes time. You have to think too. Think of your life and just what you are, like your sphere of understanding of businesses and products and things. When a new business comes online somewhere, it takes time for people to even know that business exists, let alone to think that they need something from that business, right? It takes time. It takes constant marketing, getting in front of people. It takes a building of, product lines, systems. It takes time. And on top of that, for us, it takes us time to get good with our DAWs, to get more familiar with acting styles, to get more familiar with acting styles in the different genres that there are, right? To understand what niche we even like or we're good at. And also what niche did we pick, right? We know there's certain niches that move faster than other niches when it comes to like the variety of work. We know right now that audio entertainment, right, from audiobooks, audio dramas, meditation, radio shows, podcasting, these are booming, right? Booming right now. But things like, they're like, if you look at, for example, character work is booming too, but it's booming in a different way. Meaning that, you have, kind of more of a gatekeeper type of thing in AAA type games, right? Where you've got the unions and things are very tight knit. And the big studios who create games, right? They have union contracts and so forth. Then you have a bunch of independent people who do a lot of work, and there is a lot of work available, but finding that work can be a challenge, and a lot of it isn't paid very well. If it's free, a lot of it's free too. So, I mean, it's not necessarily easy to break into that industry. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not impossible, of course not, but I'm just saying there's different categories to do different things, right? Different levels of commercials. Also, are you just focusing on the United States, or are you focusing on the world? Okay, right? Are you just focusing your efforts in the U.S., or are you focusing your efforts outside the U.S. to the rest of the world? That's another huge thing to consider. So all I'm trying to say is that absolutely, again, bring a full circle, you can make a living in voiceover. Of course you can. We've proven it over and over again. So many people are, but it takes time. And that's not wrong. That's right. It takes years to build a successful voiceover business that brings in a lot of profit. But it is very possible. And the cool thing about voiceover, right, is that you can run the whole thing by yourself. I mean, yeah, you're going to want a team down the road, but you can run it by yourself and and it is extremely profitable. Make no mistake, this business is extremely profitable because there's not a lot of overhead. There's just not a lot of overhead in this business. Okay, so yes, there's a lot of upside opportunity, but it takes time. All right, I think I've nailed that coffin shut enough. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and keep your head up. You're doing a great job. This is moving forward, always taking action. You're going to do it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and again, make sure you're paying attention next week. One of the best things to do when you're trying to build a business is to have a plan. Right? To have a process, one step after another. And that's exactly what we teach in VO's Journey Lead Academy. So we'd love to have you, and check out that link below. And again, remember, our special starts next week. Okay. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.